Hi, it's Heidi Kelly for the Shimmerz Education team. Today we're going to be using Shimmerz new product, colorings, and a bit of Glossy Accents in order to jazz up a mixed media album from Punky Sprouts called Punky Love. And we're going to make embellishments, and we're going to do a technique on one of the acrylic pages using a little bit of both. So let's get started. Okay, here you can see 4 of the circles that I cut out of the transparency, and it's just fine. I used a black permanent marker to outline the stencil that I was using, and it's not going to matter because once you have sprayed the colorings right on there, it's going to all go to the edges once we top it with the Glossy Accents. So first I'm going to start with pink stiletto colorings. Let's see here, we're just going to spritz it. And then I'm going to add Valentino in colorings as well, just to give it a little different hue. And then I wanted to add a little bit of the yellow, so I'm going to add no yolking colorings. Alright. Now, I've removed them from the box, and I'm going to grab my Glossy Accents bottle, and while the Shimmerz colorings is still wet on the transparency, you want to take the Glossy Accents and you're going to kind of, let's see if you can see this here real clearly. You're just going to squeeze the bottle, and it's going to spread your color to the edges. Now when you're doing this, I just like to, because I want a bubble effect, I just keep spraying right from the middle and it'll spread towards the edges. And then just let it go, and if you can see that, it makes a cool little bubble effect right there. And the nice thing about Glossy Accents and with the Shimmerz, if you've cut it out, it doesn't spread off the surface that you're working on. So again, we're going to do that right here to this big one. And then stop, and it'll fill itself in again to the smallest one. It'll fill itself in. Oh, that one looks like it needs a little bit more. There you go. And then the biggest one. Now, it may seem that you're using a lot of Glossy Accents, but if you want the dimensional bubble-like effect that I'm going for this Punky Sprouts album, then you just use a lot. It actually doesn't take as much as you think it would, but some people would gasp because they don't want to use up their product that much. I tend to keep about 6 or 7 bottles of Glossy Accents on hand because I just love the way it works with paints like this. So we're going to let those dry and set up, and we'll move on to the next thing. The next technique I want to show you involves using acrylic or transparency. Either one will work just fine on a sheet like this. I'm not actually going to use this one right now. I just wanted to show you what it looks like before. I did spray it already. It's for one of the pages in the Punky Sprouts mixed media album, Punky Love. And this is actually what it looks like. I have coated the page in colorings, no yolking. And what I did is I just sprayed one side of it, and then I didn't touch it. I left it completely alone because I wanted a marble effect, and I wanted the paint to dry kind of in splatters. If you see how it's thicker right in here and right in here, and then I did go over it as it was slowly drying. I topped it with just a little bit more spritz to get more of a marble effect. You just kind of spray a little bit more on top of it. And then what I'm doing right here is I've taken Glossy Accents and I have squeezed it kind of messily on top of the acrylic page. And what we want to do is we want to let that sit for just a little while until it gets tacky. And we'll come back in just a second and I will show you how to dab it. And so on top of the marbling effect that we already have with the no yolking colorings, we are going to put a little bit of a water effect on top of that by blotting the Glossy Accents. So we'll get this dried and we'll be back in just a second. I've taken a piece of plastic, and it's actually just the little sheath that had covered this page for the Punky Sprouts album, and I've just crumpled it up like this. And what you're going to want to do is just dab it. See how it's already kind of, it should be tacky. It's kind of gummy, and the streaks that you see are from where I have actually just kind of held on to it. And let me grab my paper here. And you just want to dab it. All over the page. Kind of stuck to my plastic there. That part's a little bit more dry. You want to really get it where it's at the tackiest point, so you can really manipulate the Glossy Accents and make it look like droplets. All right. Okay, set that down and show you here. And if you can see, there's that water effect. And then once it dries more completely, it'll look really, really shimmery and cool. Now for an added effect here, I'm going to drop some beads in, and just to add some more dimension and a little bit more sparkle. So I hope you have enjoyed this video and that you can use these techniques on your next transparency acrylic mixed media project. Until next time, see you later.